Hello, everyone. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one that remains. It took around 20 years to build and was constructed sometime between 2580 and 2560 BC. But how exactly did they build such a massive structure with such precise engineering? How were the gigantic stones moved into place? And what tools did the builders use? Join us as we answer these questions and more in today's episode. It was built as a tomb for the 4th Egyptian pharaoh Khufu and is the largest of 3 pyramids in the Giza Plateau, the other 2 being smaller and situated behind it. Each side of the pyramid is 755 feet or 230 meters long and originally stood 481 feet or 147 meters tall. Only the base course of the pyramid has T-shaped stones. The rest of the courses have perfectly shaped stones with the outer layer of casing having smooth white limestone faces. There are about 2 million stone blocks in the entire pyramid, each weighing about 2.5 tons. So in total, the Great Pyramid of Giza weighs over 5,722,000 tons. That's equivalent to approximately 100 aircraft carriers. But how did they cut down and move all these stones? According to some historians, the stones were transported from nearby quarries in Tura, where limestone was abundant. The limestone was softer than the bedrock, so it was easier to cut and move. The ancient Egyptians used copper tools to cut the stones. They either used a hammer and chisel or a D-shaped tool called a cup and chisel. Water was poured onto the stone to help reduce friction and make the cutting easier. They may have also used wooden mallets to help shape the stones. Once the stones were cut, they were moved by a team of workers using wooden rollers or sledges. Some historians believe that the Egyptians also used a ramp to move the stones up the pyramid. There are several theories about the ramp. Some believe there was a straight ramp built against the pyramid. Others believe there was a spiral ramp built inside the pyramid. This would have made it much easier to move the stones up the pyramid. Once the stones were in place, they were cemented together using a thin layer of plaster. But how did they manage to make such a precise structure without any advanced tools? According to some historians, the Egyptians used a plumb bob to make sure the sides of the pyramid were perfectly vertical. A plumb bob is a simple tool consisting of a weight attached to a string. By keeping the plumb bob vertical, the builders knew that the wall they were building was also vertical. They also used a level to make sure the top of the pyramid was level. A level can be made by placing a long straight edge on 2 blocks of wood. If the object is level, the 2 ends will be exactly the same height. To ensure that the pyramid was symmetrical, the Egyptians would have built one side and then used the level to check that the other side was the same height. They probably used a combination of techniques to construct the pyramid, and we may never know exactly how they did it. What we do know is that it took thousands of workers around 20 years to complete. Unfortunately, over time, the pyramid has suffered some damage. In 1302, a minaret was built on the south side of the pyramid. In 1362, a lightning strike caused some of the stones to collapse. In 1480, an earthquake caused more damage. Then in 1501, a violent windstorm blew many of the remaining stones off the pyramid. Today, the pyramid is missing its outer casing and most of the top of the pyramid. If you want to learn more about the ancient Egyptians and their incredible feats of engineering, stay tuned for more episodes. We have the Great Sphinx of Giza, the Egyptian Book of the Dead and Pyramids of the Giza Plateau. Coming soon, click the like button if you enjoyed this episode and share it with your friends and family. You can also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.